And now for something we can all agree on: politics. Hi, I'm Laura Kumin, author of All Stirred Up, Suffrage Cookbooks, Food, and the Battle for Women's Right to Vote. Have you ever disagreed with a member of your family about politics? I certainly have, and I know plenty of people who dread navigating the landmines of Thanksgiving dinner or who mute a family member on Facebook to avoid their rants about some political issue or other. Well, suffrage divided families in the same way.
At the start of the organized suffrage movement in 1848, Elizabeth Cady Stanton's husband Henry left town to avoid the Seneca Falls Convention his wife had a principal role in organizing. The divisions continued in every era of suffrage, all over the country and in families of diverse backgrounds. They even happened in the family of at least one president. Woodrow Wilson, president during the last part of the suffrage movement, had 2 marriages, 3 daughters, and a house divided when it came to suffrage. His first wife's views on suffrage are not clear. However, after she died, he remarried in 1915 during his first term in office. Wilson's second wife, Edith, was an ardent anti. However, at least 2 of his 3 grown daughters were suffragists, actively supporting the cause. Historians debate when and how Wilson moved from dithering about suffrage to publicly supporting it as president in 1918. In any event, there is no question that his position changed, and at the end of the battle, he was a supporter. When the president suffered a stroke in the fall of 1919, Edith literally ran the executive branch in his stead. But her anti-views could have little or no effect at that point. Wilson had already helped the suffrage amendment pass Congress, and it was being considered by state legislatures in the ratification process. We'll likely never know what their dinner table conversations were like, but we do know that Wilson stayed on good terms with all of the opinionated and strong-willed women in his family. Another famous family that became divided over suffrage was the Beechers. Harriet Beecher Stowe, the author of Uncle Tom's Cabin, was an ardent suffragist. Several of her sisters were suffrage supporters too, including her sister Isabella, a founder of the Connecticut Woman Suffrage Association, and their brothers Edward and Henry. On the opposite side, their oldest sister, Catherine, vehemently opposed suffrage. But Catherine wasn't a believer in stay-at-home, barefoot and pregnant womanhood. She championed women's education, founded several schools for women, and was a prolific writer. She even wrote a book with her suffragist sister Harriet. In All Stirred Up, you'll find out more about families divided on whether women should vote. I'll tell you, too, about how a wife convinced her famous writer husband to support the cause. And, since food is common ground, I'll share some of my favorite recipes straight from the Suffrage Cookbooks to give you a taste of how suffragists persuaded skeptics to unite behind their lofty goal.